put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Galson.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, yeah.
Right on, baby. Jim Florentine is the guest today.
Hi.
It's good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you.
You and
too.
I have been friends a long-ass time.
Way, way back.
You're waiting for me to read this. Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Please visit audiblepodcast.com/J for your free audiobook download. Check this out. Listen whenever and wherever you want, just like the podcast you are listening to right now. Audible has over 1,000 science and technology nerds and over 1,100 science fiction and fantasy nerds titles, with more being added all the time. So come on, all you nerds. Make believe you're not with a woman, or you don't have to, and get on audiblepodcast.com/J. It has over 100,000 titles to choose from, every genre. Audible has it covered. Get a free audiobook download when you sign up for a free trial today. Yo, check it. Free money. Free audiobook download when you sign up for a free trial today. It's free. Go to audiblepodcast.com/J to get your free audiobook today. I wasn't going to endorse these people, Jim Florentine, unless I liked them. And I went to get my free, I used them to get my book for free. Like, I'm not going to open an account.
Right.
Right? And I got Helter Skelter by Bugliosi, the guy that tried the Manson case.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a 1,400-page book. And I even tweeted about it. I said, I just started Helter Skelter, 1,400 pages with lots of evidence. See you guys in about a month. And to quote Jimmy Norton, yeah. So I used it, and it was great, and it was free. So I got a bit of a free trial. That's audiblepodcast.com/J. Make sure you put /J. Get a free audiobook today. There's really no reason to do it at all. Jim Florentine, this is only for America and Canada. None of you other second-rate countries can get in on this deal. Canada, America's hat, who we enjoy. It's a nice hat, and we like it. We like playing stand-up there all the time.
Absolutely.
You've been there doing stand-up?
Oh, yeah, Montreal, Toronto, yeah. Definitely Montreal. Some of the hottest chicks in the world.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess if you like
I put
girls.
them in the top 3.
If you like girls, sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, for guys, probably 20th.
You strike me as a bit of I was going to say you were a hound, but that has negative connotations. Jim Florentine's a real handsome guy. Used to have hair down to his ass.
Yeah.
But never swung it on stage. I was always waiting for you to break it out and just start swinging it around like a lunatic. And it seems like all the long-haired comics, like the Tom Rhodeses and the Jim Florentines, two very different comics, don't get me wrong, eventually wind up cutting their hair real short and tight.
Well, we followed after Metallica's lead.
That's right.
Metallica cut the hair, and it was a whole uproar. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Metallica cutting their hair, they're going to suck now. And then when that went away, I'm like, now it's time for me to do it.
Let's talk a lot of metal today, because Jim Florentine, of course, is the host of that metal show on VH1, a show I love. And that metal show?
Yeah, that metal show.
Okay,
yeah.
good. I want to make sure I didn't screw it up. But I do actually watch it. VH1 for me on DirecTV is in, I think it's 300 something.
Yeah, that's the problem,
No
there's
problem.
There's not too many people. Yeah, it's like 386 on your cable, and it's only in 50% of homes. Like the NFL Network, half the country has it, half
212.
doesn't. I
Channel
know.
212.
212.
Here's the thing. I've noticed if you don't know where something is, if you just tweet hey, where the hell's the men's wrestling in the Olympics? People are like, Channel 44 Slam, man. They're all over it.
Right, yeah.
They love to give you information. It makes them feel very smart.
212 and 213 is all I watch on DirecTV.
What's 213?
Because 213 is a Major League Baseball channel.
I've been selling them a show for over a year, the Major League Baseball Network. And I'm like, you guys have Kevin Millar behind the desk for 6 hours a day.
I know.
Let the poor guy have a break. Let me come in with my little dog and pony show, and we'll make it happen.
No.
My wife's idea. You want to hear the idea for the show?
Yeah.
What do you want to be when I grow up? Everybody dreams of being a Major League Baseball player when they grow up. Well, what did they dream about being when they grew up? And then, like, let's say Matt Kemp was like, actually, I always wanted to be a fireman. Then you take Matt Kemp that day to, like, a fire department, and they put him through the paces. He gets to slide down the big pole at the end, a big goofy thing, lands on a big bag of cocks. It's hilarious.
I love that, man. That's a great idea.
Well, you think they'd call back and say, we're in, or you think they'd call back and say, we're not interested. But you know when you sell shows, they make you wait forever.
Well, yeah, and they got money. I mean, they broadcast at a Secaucus. How much does that fucking cost?
How much does Secaucus cost?
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably the same as the Major League Baseball Network.
But then they got Costas on the network, and if Bob's on there, he's not working cheap.
He might work cheap for them because he loves it so much. But I don't. We had a baseball heavy episode with Greg Proops. So with you, I want to get to the metal. And that metal show on VH1. I want to tell you this. Doing stand-up at the Boston Comedy Club.
Yep.
This is still when you had your long hair. I was going on stage in the 90s with the acid wash jeans, with my Jane's Addiction and my headphones. Nothing shocking. Getting fired when you had to get fired up to go on stage.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
And you pulled me aside and you said, "Hey man, I noticed you got your wallet in your back pocket." And I go, "Yeah. Like, where the fuck else am I supposed to put it?" He goes, "You got to put it in your front pocket. Put your wallet in your front pocket, JJ." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "That way the chicks can see your ass." That's what you said.
And it's still to this day. I mean, because that was the thing. Like, yeah, you have to show off your ass because it was always tight jeans back then, and that helped you get a lot of ass. So you never put the wallet in the back because then it fucks up your ass. So you put it in the front, and it helps you bulge in the front. And then we used to always have a guy I'd have a guy like Voss. I go, "Voss, I'm going to walk by that girl, watch her to see if she checks on my ass, and if she did, then I knew to go back and go rap with her." That was our thing all the time.
Rich Voss is the reliable guy. Like, I don't know. I think he was checking me out. She knows I know the struggle. You, Jim Norton, and Voss should go on tour and call it Jimmy, Jimmy, and Jew.
Jimmy, Jew. But it worked. Now, you wear baggy jeans. It's not the style. But back then, it was like chicks always like the guy's ass. So you got to.
But see, how did you know that? I never in a million years would have thought an audience member is watching me do a show going, he's got a cute butt.
That was more of like in the bar. I mean, I guess the comedy club, but it was more like when you went out and you were looking for chicks.
But you told me specific, and I went on stage tonight with my wallet in my front pocket. My wallet's been in my, look, right here. My wallet's been in my front pocket.
Mine is too. Like, yeah.
And it does help the bulge. People think you have an odd, fat, rectangular cock.
It fills it out nice. Cause I used to have one big ball and the other one was not. It's like twins, like Schwarzenegger and DeVito. So I put my wallet on the other side where the small ball was, and then it looked nice.
Are your balls two different sizes?
They were for a while. I don't know what happened. It was almost like my balls were on roids. Like it was in the steroid era too. It was Bonds and McGuire and stuff, and then all of a sudden they just flatten out.
Which ball was the small? I don't know why.
The left one was.
I don't know why. I need to know this. But why? It's the attention to detail that really separates Mohr Stories away from its contemporaries, Jim. Which ball was the tiny one?
The tiny one was on the right.
Are you right-handed?
No, I'm left-handed.
Really?
Yeah. So I do everything with the left except for whack my bag. I use my right for that.
Why?
I don't know. I can't use it for anything else, but I use the right.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. The left one doesn't even work.
But you're left-handed.
I'm a left-handed, but it would take me 4 hours. Right hand, I get it done on a minute and a half.
But can you write your name right-handed?
No. I can't do anything with it. It's the weirdest thing.
So under special skills in your resume, it says, can jack off with my opposite hand?
Yeah, absolutely. My left hand. I jerked off one time so much that I had bursitis. I had to go to the doctor. My arm was in a sling for like 2 weeks.
Really?
So I had bursitis, yeah. And he's like, "What were you doing? You throwing a baseball around?" It was my right arm. I go, "No, I'm a lefty." He's like, "Well, what were you doing with your right hand?" I'm like,
walking the dog.
I'm like, "Look, I'm in a slump." You know how it is.
You didn't tell him that. You said,
"Yeah, I did tell him." Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told him I'm in a slump. It's like 48 days. What am I going to do?
There's like that hack joke that everybody does when they're like, "You should masturbate with your left hand if you're a righty. It's like a totally different person." I'm like, "Yeah, a special person with MS that really doesn't know how to pull on something." Like, and then we all have tried it, and like 5 minutes in, you're like, you know what, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not.
how could this be? Like, I know it's my arm and my hand.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different person. Yeah, with my hand and watch. Someone mugged me and took my hand like fucking John Wayne Gacy.
Right.
I said that like John Wayne Gacy, you know?
Dude, no one does Colin Quinn better.
Well, who doesn't at all?
You're right.
You know, I'm not exactly a household name yet. I think I'm doing, an after-hours show. It's going to be called After Hours with CQ. It's going to be on 3 networks. And my first guests are going to be Rihanna and Rich Voss. He's going to be introduced. There's going to be a voiceover with a washing machine door. You know. Your podcast is called what?
Comedy Metal Midgets.
Comedy Metal. Why midgets?
I don't know. I just threw it in because midgets is a funny word. Because half it's, I interview comedians or I just go on a rant, and the others I'll interview like a rock star. So I figured comedy metal, I need something else.
You should get Little Kiss. Like you should get midget metal people.
I should, you know what, to legitimize my podcast, I should get Mini Kiss.
Oh, Mini Kiss. Are there midget metal bands? Because
No.
you don't really.
No, I don't think so. But there is that Mini Kiss, and they're pretty big, actually. I've done shows
pretty
with
good.
them. They've opened for me before in rock clubs.
Come on.
I'm like, how do I follow that? They don't play instruments. It's just like fucking midgets with cardboard up there.
Wait, they don't play, what? They just lip sync?
No, yeah, and they got like cardboard guitars. And the drummer's not even hitting the drums. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, you got to at least play.
I thought they played.
No, and they just play a tape, so they don't even sing.
And do they have a mixtape or they just put on Destroyer?
They just put on Destroyer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, this is a fucking jip.
If they were fucking smart, they put on Love Gun because you get the Ace Frehley shit.
Exactly, but no.
16! Oh, that's not Ace Frehley. What's the Ace Frehley song on Love Gun?
I think it is. Yeah, it's
Oh,
6.
Shock Me is the Ace
Shock
Frehley
Me,
song.
yeah.
Make me feel better. Who's the best member of Kiss?
I'd say Ace. I was never a big
Me
Kiss
too.
guy, man. I missed the boat on those guys. But Ace, definitely. Ace is the cool guy.
He was the spaceman. You're a little older than me. I think you're 6 years old. When were you born? 46? 46. How old are you?
64.
I should
I'm
just ask how
47.
old you are. It's a much easier way to do this. So
47.
I'm 41. You're 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
So when you were a freshman, I was in 6th grade. So Kiss hit, my first album was Love Gun because I had my own money and whatever year it came out, it was an 8-track. It was an 8-track. I'm not even making like a
Yeah, I think
shitty
that was
joke.
like 77 it might have came out or something.
And my mom's like, you got some allowance, why don't you buy an album? And the album cover is like Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons up front and just like 40, like with their boobs hanging out, like black women like wrapped around their feet. Like, well, fucking just, as soon as you're done posing for this photo, we're just going to fucking climb all over you with our Nubian princess bodies. And I'm like, who the fuck are these guys?
Right.
They got to figure it. Like, I didn't know it was like an artist's rendition of Kiss.
Oh, really? You thought it was
Yeah,
a real?
I was like, whoa, these guys are from, and you didn't even know what they look like.
Right.
And then Gene Simmons did that movie with Tom Selleck where he had his makeup off.
Oh, that's right. That was like the first time.
Didn't help the box office.
No. Because the Kiss fans were like, eventually. I think, cause I don't know when that came out and when they took the makeup off for a few years.
You're a metal guy. You're the metal expert in the room. I would say that Gene Simmons has always been, but really now in the last 10 years, has bathed himself in the light, making himself actually Colonel Parker.
Yeah.
Like he's more concerned with selling pennants and freaking lighters than like why don't you sit down with Paul and make some crazy ass metal song?
No, that's the whole thing with Kiss, and it pisses the fans off. And Eddie Trunk that I do the show with,
Eddie,
who's been a fan, and those guys have loved Eddie over the years, Gene and Paul. And Eddie's the only guy who plays Kiss in New York on the radio. Still, they have a big problem with him because Eddie calls him out and he says, "Look, you got two basically imposters in the band in Ace's and Peter's makeup. At least
no
give
love
them."
for Eric Carr?
Well,
no love for Eric
he
Carr?
loved Eric Carr, absolutely. But he's like, at least give them different makeup. You know what I mean? Just make them their own characters.
Well,
Don't
they
put
did
them.
it. They went back to the cat.
Yeah,
makeup?
so they're in Ace. Yeah, so Kiss is pissed at Ed because Eddie keeps bringing that out, so they won't even talk to him anymore.
I have this discussion a lot with friends, and it's what band has left the most money on the table, and it was always Van Halen, obviously. and now they got a little bit of it back, but they canceled their last 30 dates. And then the next logical one is Guns N' Roses, left a shitload of money on the table. But then, you know what? I'm thinking right now, if you reunited Kiss, I think Kiss might be at the top of that whole. Nah, Guns N' Roses. Nah. You know what? Kiss would be like a Wiltern Theater act, or like Hollywood Bowl, and I think Guns N' Roses goes right to the arenas.
Well, without a doubt, Guns N' Roses. Supposedly they were offered $250 million up front, guaranteed, to get the original lineup to do like a 6-month tour. And they said no.
Original,
which
no
with
Steven
Adler.
Adler, no Izzy
No,
Stradlin.
with Adler, Izzy.